Atiku has joined the Labour Party to challenge the victory of Bola Tinubu as the president-elect. To the program, this is Politics Today, live on channel. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP Atiku, has joined the league of political parties who are seeking redress over the conduct and outcome of the presidential election. He has officially approached the tribunal to contest the declaration of Bola Tinubu of the APC as a president-elect. This comes hours after the Labour Party and its candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, had similarly filed a petition at the Election Petitions Tribunal in Abuja, challenging Tinubu's status as the winner of the February 25, 2023 presidential election.
Hello, my people. How una dey? Una good afternoon, good evening, anytime. You know, say everybody get different country. Una welcome. Welcome to Big Things God TV, the TV where they give una woto, where they bring us, they see, and where they go, they give una, where they make us they ta, they make una bula they. Maybe if I don't come with another one, but I not go to talk. You understand? So that make una hear from the horse's mouth. PDP Atiku Abubakar don dey fight Tinubu together with LP 71. Obi one name. We must win this mandate back. Oh, nah. They say Baba don't jackpa. He don't jackpa. Make a live and make una watch and don't forget to react. Now good news be this. Nah. Atiku come dey fight with us now. You understand? He's not fighting together with Peter Obi to win this mandate. Okay, I know. You just say no be one. Okay, let's just watch and see. But that is the headline for today. Make I let una watch am woto. I better not forget to react to the video. Make you share realize am. I go see you now. Bye for the next one.
The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP Atiku, has joined the league of political parties who are seeking redress over the conduct and outcome of the presidential election. He has officially approached the tribunal to contest the declaration of Bola Tinubu of the APC as a president-elect. This comes hours after the Labour Party and its candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, had similarly filed a petition at the Election Petitions Tribunal in Abuja, challenging Tinubu's status as the winner of the February 25, 2023 presidential election. Let's get some thoughts on what this means and why the PDP is challenging what they are really praying against the declaration of Bola Tinubu, and what all the things that are included in that prayer. I'm being joined by one of the spokespersons of the PDP PCC. He joins us virtually, Mr. Daniel Buala, and also a lawyer, members of the Lincoln's Inn. Thank you so much, Daniel, for joining us tonight. What exactly are the prayers of your principal?
Well, thank you for having me. The prayers are not far from what the Electoral Act provides in Section 134 to the effect that anybody who is challenging the outcome of election must come under either of these four grounds. Number one is that the election of the person who was declared winner is invalid by reason of non-compliance to the provisions of the Electoral Act. Number two is that the person who was declared winner his election is invalid by reason of corrupt practices. The third one is that the person who was declared winner was not fully elected by the lawful votes of the majority of Nigerians. And of course, the third one is that the fourth one, the person was declared winner is not qualified. Now, we have covered all of those grounds in our applications, and we have a case that we can make to the code. For example, if you look at non-compliance to the provisions of the Electoral Act. I mean, everybody in Nigeria knows what INEC told us when they set the ball rolling. They said, this is the rule. The electronic upload has come to stay. It is part of the amendment of the Electoral Act. The result will be uploaded. And all of those grammars, when they gave that in their engagement with stakeholders, they were asked where there is a conflict between the electronically uploaded result and the manually transmitted, which one takes precedence? They said definitely it will be the electronically uploaded. That is also supported by the budget of the federal government to deal with ICT. So there is a clear intent on the part of INEC to apply the provisions of the guidelines, which draws its support from the Electoral Act that the electronic upload and transmission of the result will be sacrosanct. Did they follow that provision? We hold the view that that election is invalid because there is a non-compliance, and there are so many other non-compliance around that. Number two, this is an election where you saw corruption and corrupt practices in terms of vote buying covered by the media, covered by video, covered by audio, even the law enforcement. Mm-hmm. The third one is that the person who was declared winner was not declared by the lawful vote of the majority, but not by the vote of the lawful majority of the country. This is where they committed what I call 21st century criminal conduct, even though it is not in the criminal law, where they use the advent of the electronic transmission of results as a reason to perpetuate corrupt practices in terms of manipulation of results all across the country in one swoop, and take that hard copy to INEC so that INEC now use the results they were holding in their hands to declare. All you need to do is to look at their IRA. So now they have finished uploading the IRA. If you look at it, you see that the result that was announced totally inconsistent with what you see there in the IRA. So he was, by the time you do plus and minus and you take everything out, you discover that their victory cannot be sustained. Don't forget also the provision of Section 130 sub 2 of the Constitution, which also says that even when you think that the person has scored a lawful majority, there is still a test too. Has he scored the 25% in the FCT? INEC ought to have advised themselves, but they never did. And then the last one, which is very, very critical in my view, is the issue of qualification. And you can see that you probably in the course of this our campaign, we have appeared in your studio where I was having a back and forth with Festus Keyamo about the certificate of that candidate. So there are lots of controversies around the certificate. Some people have stretched it further to talk about conviction in America and whether that person can be. So all of these things are part of the many more reasons we have brought to the court. There is only one request we have, Mr. Sheon, and the request is for the courts in the land to abide by what they say from the beginning, that the courts is about time they depart from technicality and focus on substantial justice. Substantial justice is whether the thunder comes down or not. You must come down to the case of who scored the lawful majority vote. No procedural area of law should invalidate substantial determination of this matter. What is the premise of our prayer? Because if you look at Africa, you will see that democracy, there is an attempt supported by the global community to deepen democracy in Africa. It has happened in Malawi, it has happened in Kenya. These are places where before now you would have heard they say Supreme Court would never annul themselves. It's the tradition you see in Nigeria when people say Supreme Court has never annulled, therefore Supreme Court would not. Hold on, take your popcorn, take your drink, sit back and see. In the face of overwhelming evidence, the Supreme Court will hold your case and sustain it. This is the belief. Our prayer is that technicality should not be used. Substantial justice must be given to this case. And number three, the institution of state must not use their overbearing power and compromise the judges or compromise the processes. American embassy have, backed us on that. And in fact, the world community have also said that the local laws in Nigeria must be adhered to the adjudication of the matter.